Well, folks, welcome to this segment training on prospecting. Prospecting is a very important part of the training because this is the part where you connect with someone. You're not necessarily trying to sell someone, you're trying to connect with them and see if there's a possibility of interest. So Tammy and I are going to walk you through some of the important elements in keeping in mind as we are prospecting.
The duplication cycle. Prospecting is number 1, inviting is number 2, and follow-up is number 3. And you can see in the center, trust. As you are prospecting, inviting, and follow-up in that communication, conversation, you're building rapport, you're building trust with your prospects, okay? So it's important to be following through with this cycle constantly.
See, in the prospecting process, we call the prospecting paradigm because prospecting, it's not talking to one person and hope that this person will have an interest, but it's the continuation of building the relationship, connecting with people, and we call it a funnel where you should have 2, 3, 4, really you should maybe have even up to 10 people that you're following up on that you've made a connection with in the prospecting process. And this is what it means. And the goal, of course, is to get them fully engaged, to become an associate or a preferred customer as a default.
Prospecting is a critical part of building your business, and that means we network marketing professionals, and that's your goal, is to strive to that, need to get out and shake the bushes. In other words, we need to be out there every single day talking to people while you're doing life. And that is what prospecting is. And here are 8 simple steps to kick that process into gear.
Number 1, very important, is you need to decide that you need to prospect and go and do it. And decide and go and do it. I know I've been there prospecting and just kind of, should I go? Should I talk to people? What are they going to say? What are they going to? Don't worry so much about that. Always keep in mind as you're going out in prospect, think of it as a waiter or a waitress who's offering coffee every day, every morning. She's not attached to the results of if people want coffee or not. Her job is to offer the coffee, and people will decide if they want it or not. She will not take this personally. She'll just move on to the next person until the person says, yes, okay, I'm interested to get some. And this is how you have to kind of set the stage in your mind before you get started. And you'll find it'll take a lot of pressure off is don't get emotionally attached to the outcome. Simply go out there, decide, and go and prospect.
Second, select the formats to use. Teleprospecting, face-to-face prospecting, or social media prospecting. I recommend to do all 3. Anytime you're online, connect with people. Anytime you're in front of people, connect with people. Anytime you want to follow up through your contact list and say hello to somebody, call them up.
You see, the point is how many opportunities to talk to people you miss every single day. Use one of those 3 methods that we're going to share with you. Very, very important.
Third is to follow the 3 N's. Write that down. It's very, very important. Focus on building relationships and trust. That is prospecting. You do not need to know all the details. Most people, they talk to people, they got to have a script, they got to do that. Just connect with people. Your job is to find the 3 N's. What are the 3 N's? Get their name, find out what they're looking for. And of course, if they're open to give you their number, that's when you know you've built some part of a rapport with them so that they're open to be followed up with. And always ask good questions. And so many people ask me all the time, so what is a good question? What do you do for a living? You can use the form portion there. Family, occupation, recreation, and of course, money, because people are looking to earn extra money. So always keep that in mind when you're connecting with people. People like to talk about themselves. They like to talk about their family. Often people are discouraged in their careers. So that's something to tap into. And the bottom line is to create an emotion with people. Emotion of something that they don't like, and to move it into something that they desire to have.
So the fourth is to determine how often you will need to actually prospect per week. This is again very important, is you need to treat this business as a business, and you need to schedule those times where you're going to be going out there and sharing and connecting with people. It is part of what we do. So fourth, again, determine how often you're willing to determine how often you will need to actually prospect per week.
And fifth is just do it. Just begin. Get it started. Like Chris said, you look at your schedule. Let's say you're going to put 10 hours a week into your business part-time. Then you want to schedule a majority of this time is in prospecting, inviting, and follow-up. So set your schedule, follow your schedule, and you'll see that it'll be much easier moving along and building your business.
Absolutely, and begin. See, how to start a conversation? Well, one thing that I find has worked very well for us. Some people say, well, what do I say? What do I say? Well, you don't have to focus too much what to say, but begin with a compliment. And a lot of this is common sense. It's just human interaction. After 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, or 50 years of living, I think we kind of came around. It's just a very kind of common sense approach, is begin with a compliment and ask a question. A question could be anything. A question about, where they're from, or what do you do for a living, or any kind of question that you find will be appropriate based on the context that you're in when you meet that person, right? And then listen to what they have to say. Instead of just having an agenda of wanting them to get started and wanting them to begin or be part of your business or come to a meeting or whatever it is, listen to what they're saying, and through that, through what they're sharing, they will tell you, as Tammy mentioned, what their three needs are, and you just need to pay attention and be interested, not interesting. I appreciate it. Some of us, some of you are very educated and you have a lot to share. But the fact is, you don't want to turn a conversation about you. That's the point, is you want to make it about them. So be interested as to what they're saying, and not being interesting and trying to relate to something that you want to share that kind of turns things over to you. Focused on them. That's the key here. So in the prospecting process, I want to give you a quick example of what people do. Very often people realize, why it's not working for me? Well, here's an example. Sam the Seagull. And Sam the Seagull loves chips. I'm sure any one of you can relate to that. If you've been to the beach or anywhere around, we know we know those seagulls, right? If you have some bread and you throw them around you, just be careful. They're all around you. But you see, in our business, this is what we're looking for, right? We're building our Max business. We want prospect to be like Sam the Seagull, come all towards you, because they want to have what you have. Does that make sense? But the problem is, very often we're so excited about what is all about, what Max is all about. We're overwhelmed people with so much information and too much data that it represents, where you can see this scar here with the bird poo. Well, basically it's exactly what it is. It's just too much information. And this beautiful $80,000, $90,000 car, people are not going to even see that. All they're going to see is the dirt and walk away from this, and not the beautiful car that they would love to have. You understand? So what happens here is your prospect gets overwhelmed.
And when they get overwhelmed, as you can see, people get confused. They say, no, thank you, I'm not interested. And that's what happens in real life. So make sure that you focus your attention on them in the prospecting and give them a little something. And in the prospecting process as well, stress is created from your expectation. And I think a lot of us have been out there, you expect so much from other people, especially family members or people that are really close to us, and then you get really discouraged when they say no. Don't get emotionally attached, because in my opinion, people will say yes down the road when it's their time, not your time. Okay, so focus on that.
6, very important, is use some form of tracking to be sure you're actually doing the quantity of prospecting you determine you need to do, right? Very important. We have a form that was created by the team leadership, and we call it the Max Action Report. Use it. You can access it on activeteam.com, but to simplify this for you, we made it available on the comment section below this video, and you'll be able to download it and make it available. It's an Excel spreadsheet that you can actually print and write on it, or simply use it electronically and keep track of what's going on a weekly basis. I'm telling you, this is what Tommy and I do or use with the people we mentor, because it gives us an idea of what they do and to be able to measure their effort based on their results. So number 6, very important, is you need some form of tracking, and we recommend the one that we are sharing with our teams.
And 7, be sure you have a good follow-up system, since you don't sell on the prospecting calls, so it's essential to be following up continuously until they make a decision. And you can see this, the picture there, a follow-up call is the magic trick that turns business cards into money. This is your money-making activity. Follow up, follow through. Follow up, follow through.
Absolutely. Number 8, again, you probably see that this is coming back over and over, is simply keep at it. You know, as I mentor, I was about to say the students, the associates, which are students really, are coming back and they're sharing with me what they're doing, and you know, the results are slowly growing and slowly evolving by looking at those reports. But my point is, stay the course. Stay the course. You know, Tammy and I have done really well with Max International, and one of the reasons is not because we've done anything special, it's because we kept at it. We never stop, right? Sometimes, you know, we look at this and we don't see the progress we're doing and we think we're not evolving. But what you need to remember is that, you know, you're closer today than you were yesterday. And if you keep going and you keep at it by the prospecting activities, like Tammy said, the money-making activities, you will eventually have people that are going to be curious and want to get more information.
So the activity, write down 10 good questions and rehearse the questions and practice. That's going to help you discover people's interests and needs. Okay, these are things that Chris and I have done over the years, and it's helped us when we're creating some conversation. But remember, every question that you think of, it needs to have a two-way conversation as well. So you want to interact. Make sure it's not a yes or no question, because you want to have a conversation with the person. So make sure that you're interactive with people.
Yes, and remember, again, some people are saying, well, what should I write? What kind of question should I ask? Well, as we were sharing with you on this training, start with a compliment. And just ask questions based on that, based on the environment. Listen to what they're saying. Based on what they're saying, you're going to find that very often these questions are going to trigger. You may not have some right now. Maybe you do. The fact is, write them down and practice. If you don't have any right now, honestly, just think about life. Just think about what you do. And just kind of imagine yourself in a situation and think of questions that would be in line with that. And one of the things also we do recommend is participate in our Go for Diamond calls every Monday night. You can see the schedule on the calendar, on the Active Team calendar. You can see on our website, activeteam.com. It's all there, right? Be part of our events. Be part of our training call. Be part of our webinars. Everything is on the Active Team site. So we recommend that you plug in and let us help you build your business.
Staying connected is important because we are following up. Staying connected through Facebook, through LinkedIn, through WhatsApp, messaging, however way you're connecting with your prospect. Make sure when you meet somebody, ask them what their Facebook page name is and have them follow you on Facebook or LinkedIn. Chris and I do this all the time, and we find that we build stronger relationships because they get to see who we are and they get to see what we do, and they like our pages a lot. So this is something that you might do as well.
So this is the end of our segment, and we look forward to share with you again. Bye for now.